Forces of evil and ozone nightmare. Ban all the music with the phony gas chambers on. One's got a weasel and the other got a rag. One's on the Porsche, the other's in the bag. With the rerun shows and the cocaine nose jobs. Took a drop with the folks in his side. I myself with the guitar string. Technical it, because I'm hanging from a pigeon wing. Aloha. Today is April 15th, 2025. It's 11:19. I know it's 2024. I have not done the Mr.G Hawaii podcast in quite some time. I've been very busy with other endeavors, feeding approximately 200 homeless cats every day here in Hawaii. But we're not talking cats today. We're talking NBA basketball. When I started this podcast, the Spurs had just won the #1 draft pick in 2023. That #1 draft pick was Victor Wembanyama, aka Wemby. And before the 2023-2024 season started, I said Victor Wembanyama was going to have the best NBA rookie season that any rookie has ever had. I said he was going to be the first rookie since Wes Unseld to win Rookie of the Year. That was a bold claim. Nobody else backed me up on that, not a single person. Oh, no, I said he was going to be the first rookie to win MVP since Wes Unseld. And nobody backed me up. They're like, yeah, right. You know, he's going to be Sean Bradley. No, he's too skinny. No, he's going to get pushed around. Now, was my prediction correct? 100%? No. However, it was correct in the fact that who's the best basketball player on the planet? Victor Wembanyama. If you could pick one player on Earth, which player would you pick for the next 20 years? You have one player, Victor Wembanyama. He is the most valuable player on the planet. I saw a 1-minute highlight reel of his best plays of the season. These are things in 30, 40 years of watching basketball, I've never seen anybody do, including passing through people's legs. He was stuck in a compromising position and he lost his dribble. So what did he do? He threw the ball off the backboard, grabbed it, dunked it, running 3-pointers, half-court shots, like the best blocks ever, no-look threes, no-look passes. His passing is only going to get better. And he is the best player on the planet, not just with highlights, but numbers-wise as well. And he also the NBA season ended yesterday, and Victor Wembanyama had the best rookie season of any basketball player in the NBA history. All right, he's a lock for Rookie of the Year, and he might win Defensive Player of the Year. He should win Defensive Player of the Year, but they kind of want to give it to Rudy Gobert because Minnesota finished with the best defense, understandably. So Minnesota is probably going to lose in the first round. That's my prediction. You want some picks, some NBA picks? Well, the playoffs is where I'm most accurate. The playoffs is where I've won the majority of my bets in the last 30 years. And this year, I like 2 big upsets. It doesn't happen often that an 8 seed beats a #1 seed, but I see it happening this year because the #1 seed or the #2 seeds, we'll go over that in a second, are very young team. The youngest team in the NBA is the #1 seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder. If the Lakers get the #8 seed, if the Warriors get the #8 seed, or it's either Lakers or New Orleans. But if the Lakers get the #8 seed, I see them upsetting the #1 seed. If the Warriors or if the Lakers get the 7 seed, I see them upsetting the 2 seed. If the Warriors get the #8 seed, I see them upsetting the #1 seed. So I think there will be upsets in the conference finals. I like Denver and the Clippers. I think overall, I'll say it right now, the Los Angeles Clippers are going to win the championship. They have 3 of the best players of all time. Okay. They have 4 of the best players of all time, actually. And I really like their chances this year. I think that they have a great shot to win the championship if they can stay healthy. I think Boston is a lock in the Eastern Conference. I don't see any teams competing with them. Boston won almost, I think, 64 games this year. They were the only team in the NBA to win 60 games. Normally, that's what happens. One team wins 60 games. In the West, I think it finished with a three-way tie for first place. All three teams had 56 wins. But back to Victor Wembanyama. So the Spurs season is done. Victor's first season is done. One of their last games was against the number one seed Denver Nuggets. Denver was playing for the number one seed, and the Spurs had I think it was a 21-point comeback led by Victor Wembanyama. It was just a few nights ago, where I think he scored something like 19 points in a minute and a half. And there was like three-pointers, dunks, like just the craziest thing ever. Victor Wembanyama is the best thing that ever happened to the NBA. All right, he's the most popular player by far. He gets the most amount of views. He's selling the most amount of jerseys and the most amount of merchandise. Nike just came out with their logo, the Victor Wembanyama alien logo. The clip I saw today that was 1 minute long, it was titled Victor Wembanyama being an alien for 1 minute. And it was some of his best highlights of the year. Another pick, if you're into gambling and you want to play around, a great underdog this season. This season, I noticed the NBA is calling it the bracket, and they want everybody to fill out a bracket. So you can go to NBA.com and fill out your official bracket, and all the computers around the world keep track of who picks what, and you pick the winner of the series and then how many games. So I think very few people will actually pick a perfect bracket. But with the college NCAA tournament, which they're modeling after, I do well every year. This year, I was just like last year, I was in the top 0.1%. I picked better than 99.9% of the rest of the public that played the game. And there were some really great draft prospects in that. This is the most interesting draft. The draft lottery is on May 25th. And of course, I hope the Spurs get one of the top picks, if not the number one pick. But this year's NBA draft is unlike any other NBA draft where there's no consensus number one pick. Some draft projections have the same number one pick, and another one has him down at number 10 or number 11. The Spurs, depending on the lottery balls, depending on where the balls bounce, should have two top 10 lottery picks this year, which will complement Victor Wembanyama very well. Also, they can trade for a free agent or sign a free agent. They could trade for a star player or sign a star player in free agency because many players want to play with Victor Wembanyama, including Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. Who knows what the Spurs are going to do? There are a lot of great point guards in this year's draft. Isaiah Collier is one that they had as going high as number 2 or 3 before the college basketball season started. Now I see him on draft boards as low as 14 or 15. We have players like two-time college player of the year, Zach Edey. Some boards have him going as a lottery pick, as a top 10 pick. Other draft boards have him in the second round. So this draft is the most polarizing draft I've ever seen in NBA history. There's a lot of diamonds in the rough. A lot of players won't make the cut. A lot of players we won't even hear from in a few years. But there's some all-stars in this draft. There's some MVP candidates in this draft. And, it's fun trying to pick out the ones. Speaking of MVP, I said Victor Wembanyama. Wemby is going to win Rookie of the Year. He might win Defensive Player of the Year. Both him and Rudy Gobert will be on the all-defensive first team. I think the Joker is a lock for his third regular season MVP. He had one of the best seasons ever as far as passing, points, rebounds, and efficiency. I don't have his field goal percentage on hand, but I remember one game he had a perfect game. He shot like 14 for 14 from the field, 10 of 10 from the line, and had 12 assists and 12 rebounds, something like that. He is one of the best top 10 players of all time. And the Denver Nuggets, I think they're pretty much guaranteed to make it to the Western Conference Finals. I like Denver and the Clippers in the conference finals. In the East, like I said, it's pretty much a lock. Boston is going to make it to the NBA championship finals, the NBA finals. I don't like Boston. They're probably my least favorite team of all in the NBA, one of my least favorite teams. So whoever makes it in the Western Conference, I'm going for them. I hope Boston does not win the championship. Um, I really love doing this podcast. I've taken like a month or two off. The views are not important to me. Speaking and getting my viewpoint out is what's important. I've been very busy the past 2 months. I'm feeding 2 large cat colonies every morning. I probably feed about 200 homeless cats, and it takes a lot out of me. Um, but like I said, this is only 20 minutes of my time. I don't have a script. I don't have any much planned on what I was going to say. And it's something that I really enjoy doing. Um, if you're listening here, I can give you some picks. All right. I'll give you money. All right. You'll make money listening to me. All right. No, here's a great underdog, and that's Golden State Warriors. I put $5 on them to win the championship. They've already won 4 championships with the exact same players. Nobody would be surprised if the Warriors make it to the NBA Finals against the Celtics and win the championship. I put $5 on Golden State to win the championship. If they win, I win $200. I think that's a very good bet. Like I said, I think the Clippers are going to win the championship. The Western Conference is always much more stronger than the Eastern Conference, as it is this year. You have one really good team in the East, Boston. You have the teams behind them are leaps behind them, and that's Milwaukee, New York, Indiana, and these teams aren't on the same level. All right, Boston's got a deep bench. They have probably, arguably, the best starting five in the NBA. The Denver Nuggets also have a really great starting five. So it wouldn't be surprised to see Denver and Boston in the NBA Finals. Denver also not one of my favorite teams. I'd really love to see the Clippers there. I'd love to see Kawhi Leonard get his third Finals MVP with his third different franchise. That's something that's never been done before. Uh, but it was a great NBA season. It was probably one of the most interesting NBA seasons since Shaquille O'Neal's rookie year, all the way back in 91, I believe it was 92. And you had a lot of things going on. The NBA in-season tournament was interesting. They tried a lot of like new gimmicks, if you will, this year, and some of them worked, some of them didn't. The best thing about the NBA tournament and the games that led up to the tournament was that point differential mattered. And so each of the teams were playing to the very end. So even if they were down by 20 points, they weren't running out the clock like you always see them do on the last few possessions. You see them like playing hard, trying to not lose by 20, but instead lose by 10. And that was interesting. That's something that I think they should have in the entire league, an entire season. Another big thing this year was look away 3-pointers. That's when you shoot a three and you don't even see if it goes in. Another big thing, like I mentioned, was Victor Wembanyama throwing the basketball off the backboard as a way to save him if he loses his dribble. I've seen 2 other players do that, Chet Holmgren, and I think in another rookie did that. It's slipping my mind. There was a lot of interesting things this year, a lot of interesting teams. Now that the play-in tournament, there's the in-season tournament and the play-in tournament. The play-in tournament makes it so basically 20 of the 30 NBA teams have some sort of postseason. And that really gives the players and the teams something to play for towards the end. Also, having the draft lottery, so other teams have a better chance of getting the #1 pick. You prevent teams from tanking as much. And it was the reason I love the NBA more than any other sport is because there's so many storylines, there's so much drama involved, and it works so well with YouTube and social media. A lot of people, they don't watch the full games, they don't watch the whole 2.5 hours of every loose ball, every traveling violation, every out of bounds play. But you watch the condensed version on YouTube or on TikTok, and it keeps you up. It's like a soap opera where people keep up with soap operas. They don't necessarily watch every single episode, but they'll keep up with it with like their latest like social, like what's going on here? Ooh, drama here, drama here. And the Lakers, the most dramatic team, the Los Angeles Lakers, are like the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA, where people either love them or hate them. and they've had loads of drama. Last year's drama with Russell Westbrook and LeBron James was as dramatic as it gets. And this year, you also had a bunch of drama in Los Angeles. You had some great games against the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors also a lot of drama with Draymond Green. Klay Thompson has had not the best year. Um, and what I love about the NBA is all the drama, all the storylines, and the playoffs are here. So I think it's going to be another a continuation of a great NBA season. Will be the 2024 NBA playoffs, and we will see a team win the championships, win the 2024 championship that has never won a championship, and that's the Los Angeles Clippers. So thank you for listening to today's podcast. I'll try to do another one very soon. We'll see how accurate my predictions were. And once again, or for the first time today, if you want to listen to the Mr. G podcast, click on the button. It will go right to your inbox. Every episode, it's available on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts, dozens, hundreds of places. And of course, you can watch full episodes on YouTube and Twitter. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's me clapping.